Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time, everyone. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that I really appreciate you. Let's just jump right into some really important information based on an article that was published today in the New York Times. What is it actually going to take for us to be able to get through this? This is important news, everyone. Welcome to this channel. The Ignition Time channel is about the country, the economy, and about your money. Welcome to my channel. This is the Ignition Time channel, and I have some important news, an important news alert about what it's going to take for us to get through this pandemic. So, folks, in some brand new reporting that just emerged from the New York Times, and I'm about to show you that article on your screen. It's going to take a lot more than just vaccines, everyone. It's going to take a lot more than just vaccines to end the pandemic. I'm actually about to show you the article right now. Let's just jump right in. This article, and by the way, you'll get a link to this article in the description section below. The article suggests that vaccines alone will not end the pandemic. Although the arrival of the vaccines is a huge area of encouragement. It's clear that vaccines alone, folks, are not going to be able to help us get through this. In fact, take a look at this research that was published in the New York Times. If current restrictions remain in place until July, now, by the way, keep in mind this is according to the New York Times, then restrictions could be lifted in late July. So if current restrictions remain in place until July, then we could start to see a decline gradually. But if restrictions are lifted next month, then we could see an additional 29 million additional total infections based on this new reporting. So basically, only when a certain number of people get herd immunity, then that can take the wind out of the pandemic, according to researchers who were interviewed for this article. By the way, I'll provide you with a link to this article, everyone, in the description section below. So please make sure you check out this article in the description section below. It has been estimated, everyone, that social distancing, mask wearing, and other measures should remain in place until July. And that would be and he said that would be optimistic. The researchers who were interviewed for this article, I don't know if restrictions can be in place until July, everyone, but boy, oh boy, that is what is being suggested over here. And the estimated total number of infections in the United States, if the current restrictions are in place until July, will be 158 million estimated infections. And if the current restrictions are strengthened until late July, that would mean 19 million fewer infections. And if they are lifted in March, that would mean 6 million additional infections. And if they are lifted in February, that would mean 29 million additional infections. So that is a research, everyone. I'll actually show you this chart. So again, lifting, if the restrictions are lifted in February, then we would get 29 million additional infections. And if the restrictions are lifted in March, then we could see an additional 6 million infections. So again, this is based on reporting that I'm about to show you, everyone. Pretty incredible. And by the way, I'll also show you a chart that shows you what will happen if the restrictions are strengthened. In other words, if we have more restrictions until February versus until late July. Before we can start thinking of getting back to normal, everybody, these are things that the current administration is really going to have to look at, because we are looking at a pretty incredible period of time, everyone, for us as a country. In fact, let's come back to this article, and you see that the estimated total number of infections in the US, if current restrictions are in place until July, will be 158 million. If they are strengthened until late July, we'll have 19 million fewer infections, everybody. And if they are strengthened only until February, we'll see 9 million fewer. But if they are lifted in mid-March, we'll see 6 million. And if they are lifted even sooner, we'll see 29 million. So folks, again, just some incredible information. Let's take a look at this chart that shows you if infections are lifted in February, okay, then we'll see 29 million additional total infections. And if they are lifted in mid-March, we'll see 6 million. additional total. Folks, some astonishing research here. And by the way, here's what happens. Now let's look at strengthening. Everybody strengthening the restrictions. If the restrictions are strengthened until February, 9 million fewer, and if they are strengthened until late July, 19 million fewer infections. And by the way, we are right about here where the vaccination is starting right now. So we are looking, folks, at a good 6 months until we can even try to think of getting back to normal again. And clusters and spikes, everybody, will continue to occur because of this unbelievable situation we find ourselves in. And that is where things stand. Everybody, let me know what you think in the comment section below, because again, we are in a climate, everyone. Let me actually go back to this article. We are in a climate where more needs to be done. Because we're definitely not out of the woods yet. Like I said, this article is an article that was published by the New York Times, and the headline of the article reads, "Why Vaccines Alone Will Not End the Pandemic." So let me know what you think of the content in this particular article, everyone. I want to know whether our viewers and subscribers agree with this. And also, folks, simultaneously, I'm going to share some breaking news with you all, because there has been news emerging as I've been recording this, because we live in a climate where essentially things keep happening quickly. So what I'm about to do is show you some important news that is emerging as we speak. Let me get back to my screen share. There we go. In fact, let me do this. Let me just expand my mugshot so you guys can see me all the way to one side. There you go. A little bit better. Good. So what we'll do now, folks, is I want to share some important information. Madison Cawthorn from North Carolina, the congressman has essentially said he will accept what the results of the election are. But folks, this has been somebody who questioned the integrity of the elections. Also on Fox News, and by the way, this was reported by Will Salatin, and Will Salatin is a national correspondent for Slate. On Fox News, what Mitt Romney said, and you'll see this on your screen right now. On Fox News, Mitt Romney said that Trump has been trying to corrupt the election, and he says his conduct in Ukraine, the call to Raffensperger, the incitement to insurrection, he called it an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. And and he said that an impeachment trial is appropriate after someone leaves office. And he said, if we're going to have unity, it's important to recognize the need for accountability, for truth, for justice. So let me know what you think of those comments, everyone, from Mitt Romney. Definitely getting a lot of heat from a number of other Republicans. And I did highlight an interview with Mitt Romney earlier, and pretty interesting exchange. And the nominee for the Health and Human Services, Xavier Becerra, who's the nominee from President Biden, said we can do better. And let's show you on your screen. He said we can do better. We cannot only control COVID, but get us back to real normality. But it takes everybody, all hands on deck. Let's listen to what he had to say today.
People across the country, as you well know, are desperate to see some kind of improvement. Do you agree with President Biden that there's nothing you can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months?
Well, Dana, first, thanks for having me, and congratulations to you on your new post. What I believe President Biden is making very clear, the plane is in a nosedive, and we got to pull it up. And you're not going to do that overnight, but we're going to pull it up. We have to pull it up. Failure is not an option here, and so we will. And the president has put forward not just a plan, it's a rescue plan that should be followed by a recovery plan. But first, you got to rescue the people, you got to rescue the economy, and that's why the president has put forward a bold plan with specifics, and he's going to bring everyone into the game.
So I take that to mean you do think that you can change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months, and if so, what time frame are we talking about?
Well, that's where President Biden made it very clear. It won't happen overnight. We can do better. We can not only control COVID, but get us back to real normality. But it takes everybody, all hands on deck. We've got to make sure we're coordinating and we are talking to people. We can't just tell the states, here's some PPE, some masks, here's some vaccines, now go do it. No. When we hand them over, we stay with them and provide resources to make it happen. We do that, Dana. If we get people following the president's guidance of wearing a mask for these first 100 days, we're going to get control of this thing.
So, folks, let me know what you think about this. Again, this was President Biden's Health and Human Services HHS Secretary nominee Javier Becerra, and so pretty important comments from him because he's going to be, he's a person in charge of trying to get us back. And folks, speaking of getting back on track, I'm going to show you a tweet on your screen from Perry Bacon Jr. And Perry writes about government elections. And I'm going to show you a tweet from Perry, which is super interesting. And I'm actually going to show you an article. Here, let me actually show you folks this. This is according to, let me take myself out here. This is according to a new ABC News Ipsos poll, okay? And basically what the poll shows is, do you approve or disapprove of the way President Biden has handled the response? 69% approve. How much confidence do you have in Joe Biden to make progress on unifying the country? 22% a great deal, 35% a good amount, 19% not so much, 24% none at all. So pretty interesting. And, when they viewed a short video of President Biden speaking, because again, these are comments from President Biden, somewhat convincing, 26%, very convincing, 44. Okay. So pretty interesting, not so convincing, 10. So, again, do you support or oppose the following executive actions? Support require mask wearing and physical distancing. 81% support. So an overwhelming amount of support, everyone. 81% support mask wearing, 77% support government-wide focus on racial equality, 70% support rejoining the World Health Organization, 65% support rejoining the Paris Agreement. And President Biden's White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain tells NBC, we need more vaccine, we need more vaccinators, and we need more vaccine sites. He says the difference between this administration and the Trump administration is that, this is important, is that they will take responsibility. We're going to own this problem and work closely with states. So folks, that was the news today. And like I said, the New York Times reported that vaccines alone will not end the pandemic because we are all in this together. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching. And if you learned something new from this video, please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member. I would really appreciate that. If you learned something new, please, I would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you can give me a like, and if you can please subscribe and enable notifications. Share this video with 2 friends or family members. Help me get the word out about our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to leave you with hopefully something that'll change the pace a little bit from this intense news, and hopefully you'll enjoy this music, which, by the way, has been custom created for our channel. I appreciate you, and I'll be seeing you soon.